Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make Digi Camo in Blender 4.2. First I'm going to delete the default cube and then add in a icosphere. Set these subdivisions to 5 and then hit shade smooth. Now we can open up the shader editor and hit new and call this Digi Camo. Now we can go over to rendered mode, set this to denoise and disable the scene world for some default lighting. And what we can do now is add in a noise texture, which will do the bulk of the carrying for this Digi Camo. Then I want to add in a mapping node by pressing Ctrl T with the Node Wrangler add-on enabled. And this will add in this texture coordinate and mapping node. Then I want to set the scale on the Z-axis to 2, just so it's a little bit more stripy like this. You can increase this to whatever you want, maybe 2.5 will work as well. Then I want to set this to 40 so we can play with the seed later. Alright, so now we have the noise texture. And what we can do here is add in a math node. Set this to greater than and then set the greater than value to like 0.55. And this should look like this. And now we can add in some more detail just so it looks a little bit more like wild, I guess. And if you want to do this even more, you can set the roughness to something like 0.6 or even more, just so you get more roughness in here. That is pretty much it for the noise texture. And basically what we want to be doing is adding in a mix color node, setting this to the factor, and then setting this top value to something and this bottom value to something. And then color A will be the background and then B will be your camo color. So I've already picked out some nice colors for this, so you can copy that over. So this is the hex code for the first one. I'll zoom in a little bit more right here. And then for the camo right here, I have this color right here, and that is looking pretty great. And that is not it for the camo, of course. We need a little bit more camo stripes here. So we can just duplicate these greater than and noise textures, and then just place them under here, and do that until you have about 3 noise textures. And then we can connect up this mapping node right here. And these all look the same right now, so that is why we have the seed value here. So set the first one to 1, then the second one to 2. And these will all look different now. And then we can mix them all together. So duplicate your mix shader node and put that in between the mix here and then your output. Then set the greater than value from the second noise texture to the factor here. And now we can add in a secondary color. I've also chosen a nice color for this one with the hex code that you can see right here. And then do this once more for the last noise texture. Connect that up the same way and add in a really nice sandy color to this. Something like this, or even a little bit brighter maybe. This will be the hex code. And this is looking really camo-y. So this will be like a normal camo, but we want to make Digi Camo, which is more like pixelated and things like that. And we can do that with only one node. So go over to between the mapping node and the noise texture, add in a factor math node. Just connect this up and then set this value to snap. And then set the increment, all of these 3 to 0.01. And this will create the nice Digi Camo effect that we're looking for. If you saw the last video, we made a fabric shader and we can just substitute this output right here, like the color, and then just mix that in with the fabric shader. And when you do that, that looks something like this, which is really nice and clean, which you can use for like a military bag shader or something. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now let's connect up some of those values so we have a nice node group that we can change later. So select everything, hit Ctrl G, this will group all of these nodes. For this seed value, I want to connect the first one up. Then I want to drag out of the group input and add in a math node. Set this to add and then add 1 to this. So no matter what value we set for this W, this will always be 1 more on this noise texture. And then do the same but with 2 for the last one. We can keep the scale the same, so just connect that up everywhere. And I don't think we want to be able to change the detail, to be honest, so I'm not going to connect that up. We do want to change this snap increment probably. So if we connect it up like this, this will give you like a factor that you can change. But I rather just want to do this with like 1 value. So delete that factor and then add in a combine XYZ node and then just connect it up here. Set this to 0.01 and then we can connect this all to 1 output. All right, for these colors, We maybe want to choose, for these green ones, just choose one of these and then do some hue, saturation and value adjustments. So I think we can choose this one here and just connect it up. And then for the other ones here, we can just add in a hue, saturation and value node, connect that color up here, and then just preview it and try to match that to this color as much as we can. So make it darker like this. And I already think that's good enough, to be honest. Yeah, that should be fine. So this is optional. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do any of this, to be honest, with the node group. But yeah, we can just connect up the color again and try to match it to this one. So maybe set the value to 1 and then decrease the saturation to like 0.2, like this. Yep, that looks great. And we might want to change this greater than value to get more or less camo, as you can see right here. So yeah, this is pretty much what we have. And that is our Digi Camo. So if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.